Hi, this is Bobweiss. I'm the host of Shaking Your World. Cheers.
Folks, welcome another edition of the Ghost Tales portion of Shaking Your World. Here we are yet again with Michael and Madysen, and we're going to be talking about a couple of fun toys that we're going to be utilizing on the Ghost Tour 3.0 at Shakers. So without further ado, Michael, let's talk about what do you got here?
Bob, thank you for having me back. I appreciate it. It's always good to be back here at Shakers. So today we have a couple of ghost hunting equipment that I like to use. Typically my favorite one is just it's the K2 EMF meter detector. A lot of electricians use this, and if you're like me, I've worked in the field as an electrician before. It can be used to detect wires or anything else on walls. However, when there's no wires or current running through these old abandoned buildings, these things should not go up at all. So whatever will interfere in the field will cause us to go off, and they believe that that's going to be due to the paranormal.
So the same energy that would work with the electrical wires obviously is translated through myriad energies of spirits that have passed, perhaps. Is that the contention?
Yes.
Okay.
And I can have Madysen tell you more about it too. You know?
So everything that exists in the world is definitely going to be something that gives off energy. So if you think about a pebble on the ground, it just exists as a pebble until you kick it, give it the energy that it needs. In the same way, spirits are going to manipulate a lot of these tools, and you'll know that they're there by that energy manipulation, whether it's electric or something else entirely.
What about that palm tree right next to you?
They could blow on it, they could move it around, it just depends on how much energy they have.
But what about the energy that the plant itself has?
It has its own energy, and just in the same way that Mike and I have both done this during ghost hunts, we've actually engaged with spirits and said you can use our energy to manipulate whatever's in front of you or whatever's around the area. So we could say, use my energy to move the plant, use my energy to knock something off the table.
So kind of a play on words, just like the old, the devil made me do it kind of a thing. It's that you're being manipulated. It wasn't me.
Exactly.
It was,
Completely innocent.
Okay. And this gauge will then determine what's going on with that. That's cool. What else you got here?
So we also have the old school Olympus digital recorder. My very first one, Bob, that I had, it was an old tape. You take the cassette, rewind it up, and that's pretty much what started.
Sure.
A lot of, I guess when ghost hunting started to blow up more and more, they finally went to digital due to technology changing over time. But the Olympus is probably my favorite recorder. There's different ways to use it. For me personally, I just ask questions. And
on and off.
Anything,
Yes.
On and off. I just ask questions about it or I'll ask questions to any haunted building that's got energy going on. I'll ask historical figurative questions around that time period. And if you hear voices on this thing that's not supposed to be there, that could be paranormal. I mean, Madysen, you can talk a little about it too.
My favorite thing to do, especially with the Olympus, is that it does give you the ability to plug in headphones to it. So there's a lot of times where we'll be recording with camera or even just standing in a room and one of us won't hear something, but our digital bat ears will hear it. So it's really cool to just have that extra level of audio that we can really pick up some more evidence with.
Yeah.
Now, I was only joking to a certain degree because the reality is no matter which of these toys that you will be working with, they really are tools, and tools only work if you turn them on. So we've had people in investigations that have done things, and man, you got to hear this. This is fantastic. I'm like, great.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I never turned it on.
Oh no.
Oh no. So it's important that, like anything else in life, you're prepared. Look your equipment over first and make sure you know how to turn it on and how to use it. And what's next?
Well, next, every ghost hunter is always going to need is a flashlight.
Flashlight.
This is probably the most basic tool for safety. I've done 3 haunted caves. 2 of them are Native American caves, and one of them was the Bell's Witch Cave, which is also a Native American cave. I've taken this flashlight into there. You guys are going to need this for sure. But one thing I'm going to talk about too is the spirit box. The spirit box is probably one of the most famous ones used on most of the ghost hunting shows. For me personally, I do use the spirit box, but I do it in a different way than most ghost hunters do. I make sure that we're not getting any radio stations at all, just pure static. A lot of paranormal people have done different studies on this. But for me, the spirit box, if you can just cut off all radio stations, that way it's kind of, I'm forgetting the name of the term, but it can create words in your head. You'll hear something saying, oh, was that a spirit talking to me? Or was that a radio station? So it's kind of, like looking at the clouds. Someone sees a dinosaur, someone sees a dog or something. Same kind of thing. And when you start creating these words and singing them out loud, people will, believe what they hear.
Well, what people often get upstairs is the leave now, go, leave now, die. I'm guessing that's not a radio station.
No.
Okay.
No.
I hope not.
No, I hope not. I hope not. That's pretty, yeah.
Number one with a bullet. Okay. Cool.
But no, if it's pure static and you're getting these distinctive voices, then yeah, that's pretty spot on. I don't know.
It also helps too when you're going for just pure static, because then you're not going to get those weird words that are interference from radio station, where it's words like ham, street, business,
Right.
and it might not be related to anything, but you might spend too much time going, what about the street? What about the business?
Ham and rolls. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You might get distracted, you might get hungry. So at that
Right.
point, just a distraction to your actual investigation.
Sure. Cool.
Huh? And then last but not least, this is another version. This is another EMF tester. This does the electromagnetic field work for you. There's a beeper on here, and it actually is another great construction tool. Ghost hunters are great construction workers.
Okay, so we're flashing red. What does that mean? Does that mean there's
So-
something alive around us?
Pretty much. This is starting to detect like electrical wires in your building sometimes. I know that there's different modes on here that you can do.
Pacemaker? Does it work for that too? Okay.
Probably pacemaker too. But there's the magnetic field right there, and kind of like this. This one's kind of a more simplified version of it,
Okay.
but this one's more in depth.
Okay.
So with this one, it kind of just tests different magnetic, I guess, levels in the field.
So is that different frequencies, or is that okay?
Yeah, different frequencies.
So it's not like a preponderance of more of the same frequency; it's just different frequencies.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
So if you wanted to with that one, that would be a great tool where, since you actually have a number readout on here, you can actually engage with whatever's in the environment and say, can you raise it or lower it to a certain number? And that's kind of a better way to assess maybe how strong the spirit is in terms of interaction, and just provides you a little bit more solid, concrete evidence of something being intelligent and interacting.
So we are going to go and visit a couple of cemeteries today, and can we use these in the field as well?
Absolutely.
Okay.
These are the perfect tools that you can take anywhere with you. They're very universal, and they don't really cost a lot of money. You can, easily spend a couple. Heck, in the paranormal field, you can spend thousands of dollars on what you call the Goodwill Ghost Hunter. So I try to go as cheap as can be, as long as it works and it's practical. And yeah, absolutely.
Well, Madysen, you said something when we began this whole thing about how in a joint like Shakers, you don't even need to have the spirit box because you've already got spirits to talk to you. You hear
Definitely.
things just all by themselves.
Yeah, it's something where I've set up this recorder before and I just let it run even as I'm sleeping here, and I will hear knocks and voices and bangs, and it just really makes it painfully obvious how active Shakers is. So sometimes you don't even need some of the extra tools. You can just go as basic as possible and still get good responses.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that really prefers to rely upon galvanic skin response and just my own intuition and
Sure.
how I sense things and the changes in atmospheric and barometric pressure. But there are some people that are here and do rigorous investigations and have massive amounts of things, and I don't think that they're necessarily any better off than what I do. It's just that they need to rely upon that device, whereas I constantly have things talking to me. So, okay.
Yeah, I know, for Shakers, like what she's saying, you really don't even. All you need is a cell phone here. You'll see something here.
What about, some people like to wear a whistle with them as well, just in case that, they get themselves in danger at some point. I certainly recommend that as well for any situation, but okay. The ghost or the spirits are not going to hurt you directly. Much of that is what you manifest for yourself. And really things don't hurt people here. We don't fall into that category of having the poltergeist, maybe the occasional succubi or something, but for the most part, we don't fall into that realm of having destructive spirits.
Right.
So, no hard hats required.
Yeah.
No.
No hard hats. No.
All right.
No, not either.
Well, we look forward to seeing you all on the new and enhanced Tour 3.0 at Shakers, which debuts this weekend, and we'll be going throughout the entire month of October and on. We also have included a new diorama downstairs, a little bit of the works of Jeffrey Dahmer, since we do cover that on our Cream City Cannibal Tour. And we hope to see you soon. You can find out all sorts of information about our tours at Shakers at either the shakerscigarbar.com site or at hangmantours.com. And if you need to book a tour, you can always go to milwaukeeshauntedbar.com as well. So we've got you covered. Hope to see you soon. Cheers.